Hey, this is Rick from 4Community, creating community spaces so you can connect with others and God, and I totally want to encourage you today. How's your week doing? How are you doing? You know, we're hearing a lot of new stuff in the news. We're seeing big numbers of COVID hitting Mexico, hitting the States. Lots of talk about, and China, lots of talks about the second wave that we're now in. Oh, good grief. I'm also hearing people who are just people who are connecting with me, letting me know that their family are not doing well. They're getting sick, and we're praying for some sickness. And I'm also hearing from teenagers who are just sick and tired of being locked down with nothing to do, and they're going stir crazy mad. It's like, oh, good grief. We've been enduring, and life keeps on moving forward, even though we're in a halt right now for most of us, and it is wearing on us, and I can see it all around. So today, to help us to connect and to chat and to talk, and just for me to encourage you, because I appreciate you so much. Thanks for viewing. You make my life better just because you subscribe and you like these videos and you just keep on plugging away. Thank you very much. Well, I've got something to encourage you. It's one verse, really, really short, really, really sweet, really simple. One verse to encourage you this week and to help us to talk about it if that's what you like to do. It's from 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 7. Give all your worries and cares to God, because he cares about you. Hey kids, keep your eyes on the background and watch as the background keeps on moving, because there's characters hidden in there. And when we connect on Zoom this Sunday, remember, while we're in the open time of debriefing, just connecting and talking, make sure that you jump in and tell everybody about the characters that you saw. And when you're in your outbreak groups, make sure you tell all of your friends who are with you what characters you saw. Also, give all your worries and cares to God, for he cares about you. It's not an answer. The verse is not an answer. The verse is just an encouragement for you. Okay, I know this verse. It's not going to magically increase your finances. It's not going to make your family better. It's not going to take away your depression. I get that. However, it does offer some perspective, and it offers hope. And right now, one of the things that we need while we're in our lockdown, our moods are getting bluer, and it's harder and harder to encourage each other. Perspective change and hope. Those are two very awesome things that we need right now. Before I share what I'm going to say, if you have found a successful way of doing this verse and giving your worries to God, would you please leave a comment and let us know what you've been doing to cast your cares on God and give God your worries, so that we can learn from your strength and your example. Let me talk about perspective and hope. First of all, let me share with you something about perspective. There is something bigger than you and bigger than the mess that you're in right now. And this is awesome. So to use a familiar illustration that we see in the Bible, I would say that God is Lord of both the harvest and the famine. And that's to say that God is totally in control. He's not going to leave you in your darkest hour, and he hasn't left you right now. You are not alone. That at the end of the day, God's got a plan. And he's working through the mess that we create of the world and all the messes that we create for our own lives, and also the random stuff that come our way with sickness and whatever else. And the car breaks down, we need some more money, whatever else it is, God has got your back, Jack. And God's got a big plan, and his big plan is to bring us all together and bring us closer to him and closer together. That's his plan, because he's bringing us into a system of love, and he wants us to continue to love on him and love each other as he loves on us. It's an awesome plan, but perspective is what we need right now. He's not going to leave you. He's with you right now. God's bigger than you, and God's bigger than the challenge that you find yourself in right now. He's got some bigger muscles, man. He's got some broader shoulders, and he can carry the distress that you're carrying in your place. As a matter of fact, he is asking for it. He's asking for all of your stress. He's asking for all of your anxiety. He's asking for all of the weight you're carrying. He's coming. He's knocking at your door and saying, knock, knock, knock. Would you please give me all the stuff that you don't want? Give me your anxiety. Give me your distress. I want to carry that for you. And that's what God is saying to you right now. So give it to him, because he's asking for you to do that. Let me just ask you, how do you assess your perspective when it's getting negative? And what do you do to change it? Leave a comment so that others can benefit from the strength of your experience. And if you've got a way where you know when your mood is getting low and you know it's because you lack some perspective, how do you assess that, and what do you do to make a change to re-engage your perspective more positively, so you can start moving forward instead of just staying stuck in the past and letting the current moment eat you alive? Leave your comment. That'd be awesome. Let me talk about hope. there's another side to this moment. And I know it doesn't seem like it. And actually, the people who are younger, I think, are the ones who suffer from this the most. They can't see the other side of this scary time that we're in. There's light at the end of the tunnel, as one might say. God's got a plan to bring everyone closer to him, everyone closer to each other. So keep holding on to him and keep your head up. Keep looking toward him rather than toward the things that we can't control. He's got a plan and you are included in it. He's got a plan for you to prosper. Here's another verse that I like to hold on to every now and then. Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. It says, I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. They are plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope. God really wants to give you a future, and it's going to be an awesome future if you would just lean into him and trust him and follow him. And I know this moment really, really sucks, but God's got something on the other side of this for all of us. So let's kind of lean into him and have hope that we're going to get to the other side of this with mindfulness for sure. And there's going to be pain, there's going to be sacrifice, but on the other side of this, God's got a plan. We're going to get through this. This is just a moment. It's just a moment in time. We need to hang on. We need to trust God. We need to keep on pressing into our friendship with him and keep our head up, because God's going to get us through this. Let me ask you, how do you find hope in this moment? No, really, how do you find hope in this moment? I mean, hope is something that we can't really see, right? Hope is this locking our mindset into faith, into a journey of faith, knowing that something better is absolutely going to come. What helps you have hope when things aren't going so well, when things aren't looking so well? Because I tell you, some people are better at this than others. Some people are pretty good at locking their minds into a better future and just going on that faith journey, man, just keeping it alive in your head, even though you can't see it in reality. And others, they can't do that so much. Others can't lock their minds on a future that they can't see. Others can't lock their minds on anything but what they see right now. So if you've got something helpful to say to people to help them lock their minds in faith on a future that they can't yet see, leave a comment. Let people know what you do to help yourself stay hopeful, knowing that this is just a moment. Let people benefit from your strength of experience. Leave a comment if you've got something to say. So what do you need to do? In order to change your perspective, in order to lock onto hope, what do you need to do? To release your distress, try this. Okay, I'm going to give you just a couple of simple tips. To release your distress, try this. Oh, by the way, there's a difference between stress and distress. Stress, that's something that can be very helpful to us and very healthy. Stress is what propels us forward. Stress is something that we can control. We're under a moment of stress, like if we're children, I don't know my ABCs and it's stressing me out. So what do? We learn our ABCs and we grow stronger for it. Stress is something that we can't control. Distress, now that's not so healthy. Distress is what we feel when things are not in our control. Distress is unhealthy. So what do we do? Here's some tips. Try this. If you're a seasoned veteran of a Jesus follower, and even if you're not, this is still going to help. Pray at least once a day. You want to connect to the big guy. You want to connect to God. You want to connect to Jesus. He's got bigger muscles, bigger shoulders. He wants to carry that weight for you and with you. And the way that you're going to release it to him is you got to talk to him. You got to talk to God. So at least once a day, talk to God. Talk to God about what you're stressed out about. Talk to God about your distress. Talk to God about your anxiety, that you know that you're not in control and it really sucks and you hate it. Just lay it all out there. Use your own words too. If your words, if your language isn't all that clean, you got some colorful language, you swear, whatever, just let it all out. Just talk to God in your own words and just really release your anxiety to him. He says, man, he's your friend and he just wants to receive it and just talk it out with him, debrief with God. Praying is just talking to God. It's debriefing with God. It's connecting with God in an audible way. So talk it out with him. Second of all, read the Bible. But more than that, read parts of the Bible that you find more positive. Like when you're in a blue mood, when you're battling with what you think is depression or something like that, maybe it's depression, whatever, that you really want to go into those more positive Bible passages, because there's a lot in the Bible that's not necessarily positive. There's a lot of teaching in the Bible that says, oh, you sinner, you need to repent. That's not the kind of stuff you need in the moment during this lockdown when you're kind of battling with depression. Now is not that time for those sinner texts. Unless you're doing some stuff that's really bringing your life down, then maybe that's going to be helpful for you too. But if you're struggling with your mood right now, you want to go to those more positive Bible passages, and you might find those in Psalms, you might find those in the New Testament. So look for some positive Bible passages that you really like to hold on to, and get a reading plan where you're engaging with the Bible, because praying is talking to God, reading the Bible is listening to God. You want to do both, because a relationship is two ways. It's export and import. You export, you're talking to God. Import, you're listening to God. That's praying, and that's reading the Bible. It's part of a healthy friendship. And also connect. So thirdly, connect with people who you can debrief with and pray with at least a few times a week. Don't go it alone, man. Don't go it alone. Here is a little tip about depression. Depression feeds itself. Those blue moods, they feed themselves. If you're depressed, if you're low, if you're blue, your body and your mind and your heart is not telling you to connect with people, because if you connect with people, that kills that mood, and that mood wants to stay alive in you. That depressed, that loneliness, that blue mood, it wants to live, it wants to thrive, and it wants to take up space in your mind and your body and your heart. Don't let it. It knows that blue mood, that depressed thing, that it knows that when you start connecting with people, debriefing with them, praying with them, it knows that that's its end. That's what's going to kill it. And so it wants to live. Don't let it live in you. Connect with other people, a few times a week, just to debrief with them and to pray with them. You got to connect with people. So healthy for us, particularly now as we're socially distancing. We need to be intentional still about connecting with others. So make sure that happens for you. To fortify yourself against distress, remember the two sources of your mood momentum. Okay, you've got two sources of mood momentum that I'm just going to share with you. Internal and external. Okay, internally, keep your thoughts on Jesus. Change your perspective so that you capture the moment rather than having this moment capture you. Okay, change your perspective. Don't let this moment grab onto you and defeat you. Instead, change your perspective, lean into Jesus, and take advantage of any opportunity that comes your way right now. Because in this moment, you have new opportunities that you didn't have before. So look for those new opportunities and excel in those. And don't let this moment defeat you. But internally, change your perspective and grab onto hope. Also internally as well, physical health is so important. Your body health, if you're exercising, that's going to increase your mood as well. So exercise, very important. That boosts our resilience as well. Externally, okay, so that's internally. Externally, this is a mood momentum. Keep people around you who will keep you positive rather than bring you down. So vitally important. If we're already on the edge, and a lot of us are already on the edge because of the moment that we find ourselves in. If you're already on the edge, you want to be surrounding yourself by positive people, and you want to be limiting access to you from people that are bringing you down and that are very negative. You want to limit that access. You're not an evil person to just not call somebody so often. You're not an evil person just to not make yourself available to people who are just really bringing you down because they're Mr. or Mrs. Blue. It's okay. If you're on the edge, just surround yourself by positive people, because that's a mood momentum. If you got people bringing you down, just graciously disconnect. Graciously call them less. Graciously make yourself less available to them. And seek out people that will propel you towards growth. Seek out people that will propel you to be the best person, the best version of you that you can be. Okay, do that. Don't bring yourself down about the choices you make about who you're going to hang out with. If you're a teen, dudette, oh my goodness, if you're a teen, this moment just plain sucks. And there's nothing else to say about it, man. Here's my message to you, okay? My message to you if you're a teenager, give yourself a freaking fighting chance. I don't think I just swore there. I don't think so. It's pretty cool, though. Give yourself a freaking fighting chance. That's about as close as I'm going to get to swearing. Life as a teen is pretty much just about friends and gaining new experiences. That's the life of a teen. Friends and gaining new experience. I loved being a teen, and I love teenagers, honestly. This moment is a new experience less and friend less moment. It really, really sucks. So here's what you can do. Okay, here's some tips, and hopefully you've got some more tips too, because I'm going to ask you to leave some comments for the other teens that need to be listening or want to hear from you. Here it is. Pick a platform. any kind of platform. If it's Xbox, if it's Discord, if it's texting, I don't care what it is. Just pick a platform. Pick up that device, use it for the purpose of connecting with your friends. You got it? If you're playing video games a lot, so be it. That doesn't really bug me, as long as on the other side of that video game, on your Xbox, whatever platform you use, as long as on the other side of that you are connecting with friends and you're talking it, if you're battling together, if you're Minecrafting together, whatever, I don't care. As long as you're connecting with friends, then just go for it in this moment, okay? I give my kids a little bit more leeway here because they just need to be connecting with friends. If it's helping you to connect with friends, just pick your platform and go for it. Don't isolate. And I know, like many of the teens that I see are kind of stuck inside their house and not allowed to go out. Some of them break the rules. Yeah, I get it, because it's hard. But a lot of them are just stuck inside the house. Please don't isolate, because it's just gonna make it worse. And I'm gonna say to you the same thing I just said. Depression feeds itself, man. Depression is a killer. Depression and blue moods. It wants to take up living arrangement in your mind, in your body, in your heart. It doesn't want to go away. It wants to feed itself. It wants to grow in you. It wants to live in you. Give yourself a freaking fighting chance. Don't isolate. Depression and low moods, it knows that when you start to connect with other people, when you start to debriefing with friends and making friends, it's going to start to have to move out. It's going to start to have to move out of your head, move out of your heart, move out of your body, because when you're connecting with other people, there's less room for that blue mood in there. When you're thinking about other things, there's less room for that blue mood in there. When you're exercising, there's less room for that blue mood in there. Give yourself a freaking fighting chance by focusing on three things, like get connected with people, learn something new, and exercise. Those are the three ways you give yourself a freaking fighting chance against kind of depression and blue moods. Don't let that stuff live inside of you, because it wants to live inside of you, and it's evil and it's wrong and it doesn't belong to you. You don't have to leave it there. So make sure you're connecting with people. Pick a platform, connect with people however you can. Don't isolate. Physically you may still have to be, but if you got a safe friend, and we're allowed to do that now, bring a safe friend over, or go over to a safe friend's place, and that we're all practicing whatever the government's issues are telling us at this moment. Exercise too, okay? Exercise, so important. The health of your body affects your mood, and it makes you resilient to depression. So those three things. Depression wants to live in your head, in your heart, in your body. If you're exercising, you can't live there, because when you're exercising, it really helps you. It allows you to become a little bit more resistant, resilient. It strengthens you. It's going to increase your mood. It is a mood enhancer. So make sure you get some exercise in and learn something new. Okay, this is the three-headed dragon of depression that we are slaying. Slay the three-headed dragon of depression. Okay, it wants to live in your mind. It wants to live in your body. It wants to live in your heart. And you're going to say, I'm going to give myself a freaking fighting chance, and I'm going to slay this three-headed monster of depression. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to connect with people, and I'm going to learn something new. Engage that mind. Pick a platform for learning something, whether it's YouTube or something like Udemy. I love Udemy. I'm using Udemy I had been learning using Udemy to learn how to create iPhone apps and learn Swift, anyways, it's pretty cool. You can learn anything on Udemy. I also learned how to cook sushi, cooking sushi. It's all kind of raw, right? So cooking, not sure if I can use that title with sushi or not. Anyway, so I'm learning how to cook sushi, learn whatever. It's a good platform. Pick a platform and just learn something new. It's not school. Learn what you like. Learn how to draw, whatever. Pick an interest and learn something new, okay? Depression, low mood is a three-headed dragon, and you want to slay it, all three heads. You want to slay it by attacking it at its head, attacking it at its heart, attacking it in your body. You want to be exercising. You want to be connecting with people, and you want to be learning something new. Attack that three-headed dragon. Pick a platform, man. This might be the only time in your life where your parents are going to say it's okay for you to play video games a lot. As long as you're connecting with your friends, as long as there's other people on the other end of that Xbox controller that you're talking to, and they are your friends, and they're life-giving, and they're supporting and encouraging you, man, it's a great time. So just connect with friends. If you're a teen, I've got a request for you. If you're a teen, and you have an idea, so many other teens would benefit from hearing your thoughts. So go ahead and share something that's been helping you to get through these experience friend life sucking days, okay? And well-being sucking days. If you've got something that you're doing that's been helpful to you, you leave a comment so that other teenagers can hear from you, so that you can propel them towards health as well, because they need to hear from you. All right, that's it from me for this week. Here's a heads up though. If you're following along in my series on Mark, this week is not devoid of that Mark series. I have already posted an inductive study, and I think it totally rocks. I think it's a little bit longer this week, but I had an awesome time doing it this week. And I was so shocked that in this week's inductive study through Mark that I actually found Star Wars references in it to the Cantina bar and band and whatever. You're going to love it. So go ahead, head over to the inductive study in Mark if you want to continue to join me through Mark. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think about that. If you find this video helpful, would you please like it? Would you please share it? And if you find these videos helpful, also would you please subscribe? Listen, when you like videos, when you share videos, and when you subscribe, you totally make my life better. I appreciate you. I love you for doing it. Thank you very much. I love you. Okay, I love you. Okay. So that's it for the weird stuff for me now. Okay, so that's it. I'll see you next time. 4Community. If you don't have a community you're already connecting with, please consider connecting with 4Community. We're connecting only on Zoom right now because it's the safest way to go right now. Maybe until 2021. Who knows? So connect with us on 4Community, creating community spaces where you can connect with others and God.